Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is the finale race in season number 8 of the NOFSRL Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. We're here at the Homestead Miami-Speedway for the Chick-Fil-A 500, and while the championship has already been decided, these 42 drivers are ready to bring one last action-filled race to the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series circuit for 2019, and they are all ready to win the final race of the season. We are joined along with Trey Wright and Nathan Stapleton. It has been a great season. We've had a lot of great races. A lot of races have stood out as exciting events. All the way from the Daytona 500 and Josh Marzak winning to the throwback race at North Wilkesboro to the Southern 500, which had so much intense battling at the end between Seth Cole and Josh Marzak, just to name a few. So many good moments this season, so much great racing, but in the end, Nathan Baird, the champion. And I'm going to ask you, Trey, from an owner's perspective, what do you want to see your drivers do in this finale race? I know none of your drivers have a chance at the championship. Your team doesn't have a shot at the championship, but what do you want to see out of your drivers in this final race before we head into Season 9?
Well, for the most important thing is to win. I'm going to have my eyes on Justin Roberts starting in the 4th position in that Team Fortress 238 Ford. One thing is for my team today is to have good runs and avoid the craziness that we often see here at the Homestead Miami-Speedway. Pit crews to have a good day because for the first time in Chick-Fil-A Cup Series history, there will be pit stops in this race. So accurate, no mistakes, and have a good race, and hopefully we'll end up in victory lane.
And we'll have to see how those pit stops do affect this race. The first time we have scheduled pit stops here at Homestead. And you may notice we are using a new version of the Homestead Miami Speedway. This is the 2013 version. I believe it's a slightly better version. And we're actually under the sunshine for this race. It's not going to be a transition race. It's going to be completely during the day. So that's another new feature here for the Chick-Fil-A 500. But it's also the last time we're going to host the finale here at Homestead. So I'm going to ask you, Nathan, how special would it be to win the last finale race at the Homestead Miami Speedway?
Well, it's going to be very special because even though Homestead will be back on the schedule for the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series in 2020, it's not going to be for the finale. So, everyone wants to win the last finale race here at Homestead. And it's a long race. It's probably one of the final jewels in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series, the Chick-Fil-A 500. It's a long race, 67 laps. And these guys just have to maintain the grip, because Tyler's going to be a factor, and hopefully someone, maybe me, can win the final finale race here at Homestead.
And I can confirm that somebody will win this race here today. We just don't know who that somebody is. We have 67 laps to decide it, and these 42 drivers all want to be that somebody in victory lane for the finale of Season 8 in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. We're going to go over the point standings, and even though the championship has already been decided with Nathan Baird, your champion, the battle is still on for second in the points, and that's a pretty big deal, being the runner-up, because that was really the closest battle we had all season, championship-wise, here in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. Of course, Nathan Baird, the points leader and champion, 772 points towards the championship for him. Wyatt Quayle, 80 points behind. Mark Davidson, 91 points behind. John Arndt, 92 points behind. And Justin Roberts with a chance at being second in the points, 96 points behind, coming into the finale race of the season. In the Owners' Championship, Titan Fury Motorsports has 293 points towards the championship, and Justin Zeidel, his team, Zeidel Motorsports, 12 points behind coming to this race. You get 17 if a driver on your team wins the race, 15 for second, 14 for third, and so on. So the odds are that Titan Fury Motorsports will win their second straight Owners Championship. Let's go ahead and get these guys to roll off. Sebastian Cucolon, the number 13, starting on the pole position here today. Alongside him, John Andrews. They were the two fastest drivers in qualifying yesterday here from Homestead. In row number 2, we have Mitchell Henderson. Mitchell Henderson won at Kansas earlier this year. And the number 38 machine of Justin Roberts won in Richmond. Kukulon won Bristol. John Andrews won Talladega. Cody Sill starting 5th, won Chicagoland. Nathan Baird, our champion here in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series, could get his 3rd win of the season. He won at Atlanta and Dover earlier in the season. Row number 4, Daytona winner, the Coke, or should I say the Valvoline 400 winner, Christian Master in the number 7 alongside Silas Orta. Darlington winner, Nashville winner, and NOFSRL 500 winner Seth Cole, starting in the 9th position alongside Auto Club winner Diego Yepes. Take a look at the rest of the field right here. There's last week's winner Matt Dalio starting on the outside of Tristan Allen. So many guys with an opportunity at winning. Of course, there's Zachary Fitzwater, who won last night in the Turkey Hill Truck Series opener. So while Beast Racing is one of 2 teams who have yet to get a win here in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series this season, they did get a win last night in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, so Murray Johnson can celebrate that. But either way, we'll see who's celebrating in the finale of the season here. One last race, and all of these drivers want to be that last Chick-fil-A Cup Series winner of 2019. Kukulon, John Andrews, green flag. Thank you very much for a great season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. In the wall, Sebastian Kukulon, first lap led Mitchell Henderson at the line, and Kukulon lost a ton of ground, and we still have that Owners' Championship to decide, so we'll have to see if that has any effect on who wins it. But Kukulon falling back a little bit there, and Zidell Motorsports with Christian Master moving their way through the field. For the race lead, Mitchell Henderson trying to get the outside on Cody Sill. They're side by side for the race lead. On lap 2, John Andrews in the outside wall now in the 04.
Yeah, Sill made a bonsai move off of turn number 4 on lap 1, and Kukulon, he was all the way on the outside trying to give him as much room as possible. But that wall is right there, so he scraped that wall and is losing a ton of positions. He's getting hung out to dry in Napa. Here comes Christian Master in the 7 car. He's going to have the preferred line going into 3 and 4, but Cody Sill, he might have him on the outside. Riley Spurley come up behind Master.
How about the number 39 Riley Spurley right there on the inside of Seth Cole. Seth Cole going for his 4th win of the season. He's the only 3-time winner so far this season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and he's looking for his 4th. I don't know if we've ever had a driver win 4 races in a season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, but Seth Cole's trying to do that, and he's currently running up front here on lap 4 of 67 of the Chick-fil-A 500. But the leader, Cody Sill, has been a very dismal season for him. He did get the win at Chicagoland, his home racetrack, which he's actually won 2 years in a row. But other than that, there has been nothing to celebrate about Golden Motorsports and Cody Sill this year, but they might get this race victory, especially if they continue to battle like this for the 2nd position.
4 wide going into turn number 3. Hopefully someone's going to back it down. Matt got close between Henderson and Spurley. Spurley's going to wash up the racetrack in the middle, in front of Christian Master.
He's going to scrape the outside wall just a little bit. It's very similar to what we see at Darlington. Those guys hitting the outside wall. Only this time it's off of turn 4 and not turn 2.
But that is the nature of Homestead. Multiple grooves and wanting all the way up against that fence, just like what Kyle does in real life. You're seeing that work before, but you can't go too high in a minute on turn 3, and that's what's always been happening so far.
Been very interesting watching these guys race. They are actually spreading out a little bit more than we have seen in past years, and that might be in part to the new version of the racetrack. We are also under the sunshine, the first day race we've had here at Homestead, so it might play a bit of a factor into why these guys are spread out. But when they get spread out, that's when the racing gets good, when that's when they have to fight for those positions, and that's when it is real racing, in my opinion. So we're in store for a great show here today at Homestead. Mitchell Henderson trying to get a run here on Cody Sill with Andrew Miller in third. Andrew Miller finally got a race victory on Napa Fam 2 weeks ago in the Hers Elimination Series at Darlington. He wants a Chick-Fil-A Cup Series race victory for Tanker Motorsports.
Indeed, the owner of the TRN NR 2003 Racing League, currently running in the third podium position. Mitchell Henderson, development driver to Isaac Nicole. No.
Stuart Grattan. That's Stuart Grattan's driver right there. Of course, Stuart Grattan actually has won here before in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, won the Season 3 championship of the Turkey Hill Truck Series. And Mitchell Henderson won at Kansas earlier this season. He is going for the race lead, going for the race win here at Homestead. Andrew Miller closing in here. Fourth place is now Diego Yepes in number 92. And here comes Josh Marzak, and I've been very impressed with this guy the past couple of races. He almost won the Southern 500. You guys saw that. But at Indianapolis last week, he was the only other driver, with the exception of Matt Dalio, to lead laps at Indianapolis last week. However, he came in with an extra pit stop compared to Matt Dalio, thinking that the race was going to go green. Matt Dalio stayed out. He got enough cautions to be able to make it on fuel, and Marzak finished midway through the field after leading 5 laps in the race Dyson Tubing 400. But he could have easily won last week, could have easily won the Southern 500, and now he's just outside the top 5 here at Homestead with, I don't know, 55 laps left to go in this race. Still a long ways to go, I know, but watch out for Marzak here today at Homestead. He could have a shot at the race victory. Back to the race lead, Andrew Miller was able to lead a lap ahead of Mitchell Henderson. Henderson going to take it back from him. Cody Sills here, and they are bringing Diego Yepes into the mix here for the race lead on lap 12 of 67.
Also in this mix, back in the second pack right back there, Herschel Arvin Alonso. He was going to retire last season, but decided he's going to have one more shot at a Chick-Fil-A Cup Series championship. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen, but he's going to try and go out like a winner and win at the Homestead Miami-Speedway.
And another guy you might want to watch out for, Tristan Allen. I haven't really been giving a lot of credit to him lately about being the guy with the longest losing streak. I've been focusing a lot on Garrett Sonor, but Tristan Allen is a guy whose future is also up in the air. This could be his final Napa Fan race for all we know. He's not in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, so wouldn't it be something if Tristan Allen finally got that monkey off his back and won a Chick-fil-A Cup Series race? He's been in the series since season number 3, trying to get it here. He's in the top 5 right now here at Homestead. But they keep on battling for 5th, and that is definitely hurting that pack back in there because they cannot catch up to these 4 guys. And all 4 of these guys are really fast right now, being led by Cody Sill.
Indeed, they're not battling as much as the guys back battling for the top 5 position. Pretty wide for these guys, however. And that's going to cause Cody Sill to pull away. They are spreading out, so there isn't as much chance as a caution as they were if they were condensed like this. Now that I said that there's going to be a caution, but if this race does go caution-free, this race is going to be won on pit strategy. 2 tires, 4 tires. Does your pit crew pull a Kevin Harvick and completely blow it? We'll have to see. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, with these guys being all split out, it's going to be mostly a driver's race from here on out if we get a caution. But like you were mentioning on that, man, lots of drivers that the future is questionable right now.
In the wall.
Mitchell Henderson in the wall.
Mitchell Henderson tapped it right there, and with that, you could see that happen back in the pack. We could still see a wreck. I mean, we're lap 16 of 67 in here at Homestead. It's still a long ways left to go, but look at the average miles per hour there. 190 miles per hour there for Cody Sill is the average. And look at, the back of the pack there. In the middle of the pack, you see all these guys scrambling for position. I mean, they're off the corner looking 4 wide, but then we go back in here, and they're mainly only 2 wide, but they definitely spread out off of turn number 4. And if somebody taps that outside wall the wrong way, we could see a wreck down the front straightaway. But right now, they are starting to really file it out pretty well. And Cody Sill is doing a great job pulling away from the rest of the field right now. He's led the most laps so far here in the Chick-fil-A 500.
Indeed, we have seen some pretty nasty accidents here at Homestead. So if somebody just gets a little squirrely off the corner and goes back into traffic, we're going to need a couple of cleanup crews for those cars, and Dale Jr. is going to be pretty happy that he's going to have more cars for his collection.
Nathan Baird taking the 4th position away from Diego Yepez. Yepez slid up the racetrack right there in turn number 4. He's going to fall back, and now a 3-wide battle. Seth Cole, Tristan Allen trying to get to the inside of the 92. And you say this is going to be a driver's race, Nathan. Of course, you've been in the series the entire season. What does that mean for these guys trying to maneuver around this place here at Homestead?
Basically, a driver's race is where you don't have to draft like Daytona and Talladega. You don't have to worry about track racing like some other mile and a halves, like Vegas and Atlanta. It's solely on how good the car is and how good the talent level is. And that's what we are seeing right now with Cody still in the middle, and we're already clinched champion Nathan Baird up one in 3rd place.
And we saw a race like that play out last night at Daytona in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. It was a very, very fun race, and no, you haven't seen it yet, Nathan. I'm going to spoil it for you there, but Massatel did a great job. Finished top 5, but the 2 guys who were the talk of the town were Zachary Fitzwater and John Arndt, who led all of the laps between the 2 of them. It was something else to see last night, and we're going to see a lot of that coming up here on Napa Fan, as we're going to be starting that range with the ratings. And a lot of more races are going to be drivers' races, and that's going to make things very interesting. I love it when it plays out like this, but the driver has to work for those positions, and we're seeing that play out right now here at Homestead, especially considering that this race might go caution-free. They're going to have to be perfect on the racetrack and on the pit lane if they want to get that last race win of the season, and Nathan Baird wants to be that guy who gets it. He's already the champion. He wants to celebrate in the best of styles here at Homestead. The last win of the season and the championship and the Rookie of the Year as well, by the way. He's won that too, so he's got a lot to look forward to here in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series, as he's going to be driving for his own team next season in Baird Racing. They're going to be driving Toyota. We don't know the number yet, but next week when we figure out some of the returning teams for season number 9, then a number will be decided. But Nathan Baird has a bright future here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and he got it started on the right foot, no doubt about it. And he is clawing his way to the lead here at the Homestead Miami-Speedway, looking to win his 3rd race of the season. Meanwhile, Andrew Miller to the inside, going to take it away from Cody Sill. Got to run to the inside lane, and he's going to clear him entering turn number 3.
Yes, and Sill will fall back into the clutches of Nathan Baird. And Mitchell Henderson will file in 4th, and Diego Yepez rounds out the top 5. They have pulled away. Actually, excuse me, no. On the second pack, they've gotten a little more uniform. Seth Cole is in a close 6th. Excuse me, Mark Davidson and Tristan Allen fight for 7th place. So it's very interesting. Have seen a lot of guys going to the wall off both turns 2 and turn 4. So Homestead stripes, as you will put it.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of they would normally be called Darlington stripes here at Homestead. Of course, we were at Darlington 2 weeks ago, but this place has a bit of a similar feel to Darlington. That outside lane works pretty well, and of course at Darlington the outside lane works really well through turns 3 and 4. Of course, you know, both corners here at Homestead are identical to each other, so it works pretty much the whole way around this place. But got Nathan Baird there in the middle, but Mitchell Henderson and Andrew Miller. Cody Sill definitely seems to be the guy to beat here today. That number 37 is strong, as he's led the most laps so far in this event. And he's pulling away once again as they battle for second. Here comes Diego Yepez, and they're 4 wide.
4 wide.
Oh, boy, this could get a little edgy right here. If they're not careful, we could see a wreck.
Andrew Miller hit the outside wall. It's going to ruin his momentum.
He had to back it down right there. Now Seth Cole moving to the inside. Henderson got a great run to the inside of Nathan Baird, and they're 3 wide again off the corner. And this is exactly what Cody Sill wants to see in his rearview mirror, because all that battling for second is allowing him to pull away. A 7/10 of a second lead right now for Cody Sill. But Nathan Baird, you know, these guys are tired of seeing Nathan Baird. They're tired of hearing about Nathan Baird. They're not going to help him win this race, let me tell you that much. And he has lost a lot of ground right there as he fell all the way to the outside. And we got ourselves our first cycle of pit stops here today. It's going to be the first of 2 cycles, I do believe, in this race. Cody Sill in the pit lane with Andrew Miller here on lap 29 of 67. They are the only 2 guys to come in What do you think about this strategy, Nathan? These guys trying to take some tires, get that advantage on the rest of the field?
Possibly. They were inside the top 10, and they have been up front all race long. So maybe they're trying to pull a rabbit out of the hat and get even a bigger lead from the rest of the field.
Here's the rest of the field and around. Daniel McMillan, will that trigger a yellow? I don't think it will. It does not need to trigger a yellow, and the green flag is still out. But McMillan, I saw him back in there. He has been having a struggling race at this point. So we'll have to see how it all plays out for him. And these guys got to be careful merging back on. Of course, Cody Sill and Andrew Miller, I think they're going to be good to go. There's going to be nobody on the racetrack when they merge back out. But as for the rest of the field, it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out for them as they merge back on. Roger Ray is cleared. He's going to lead a lap right there. Here comes the rest of the field. Coming off of the pit lane right here, Tristan Allen, Nathan Baird with a great pit stop. Mitchell Henderson getting off very well right there. These guys better be careful. I don't think they're going to go double wide on the access road. They got to make a decision on who has the position before they get on that access road, or otherwise we could see a wreck at that issue a lot at Atlanta. But I think these guys are going to keep it clean for now. Kukulon has a ton of damage, however, in the number 13. And I see Justin Roberts with a lot of damage as well. Mark Davidson coming off the pit lane right here. We'll have to see who wins the race off of all of these drivers and have to see where it all cycles through here. But that's only the first of 2 pit stops we'll have today. They're definitely going to have to come back down again. Cody Sill in the number 37 is going to breeze right by the 95. And Cody Sill back to the race lead here at Homestead.
Definitely a smart decision by the 37 team. They're leading, so they're going to short pit, and they'll end up leapfrogging the entire field with fresher tires. 37 car out in the lead as Roger Ray comes off the pit road.
There's Roger Ray, there's Sebastian Kukulon. Kukulon, our pole sitter, going to go a lap down. And it's not exactly how it wanted to go there for Eager Brothers' team here today. However, Seidel Motorsports isn't really too high up to the field either, so it's still looking like Titan Fury will win the Owners' Championship, but a couple guys who are now a lap down. Daniel McMillan, we saw the issues he had. Justin Roberts is a lap down. Riley Spurley also a lap down in the 39. And Sebastian Kukulon in the number 13. Everybody else still on the lead lap. Nobody out of the race yet here at the Homestead Miami-Speedway. There is Cody Sill with a 1-second lead on Andrew Miller. Miller's teammate, Mark Davidson, is third. Mitchell Henderson. And how about Steven Thompson? We have yet to see an uncharted driver win a race this season. However, Thompson's going to have a chance at that here today. And this pack will definitely close back in on Cody Sill. I think these guys are still going to have a shot on him. Yeah, Tristan Allen up here, Nathan Baird. The 13 and the 38 are both a lap down. Patrick Smith in the 8. Here's Joel Urban Alonso and Lucas Jacobson. That's the top 10, and they have all pulled away from the rest of the field at this point. Seth Cole has fallen back quite a bit. He did not get a good pit stop there, as he was one of the top running drivers earlier on. He is now running in the 26th position. Not at all what Seth Cole wanted to see after the strong run he had at the start of this race. But back up to the front. Cody still continuing to lead, but the Tanker Motorsport teammates of Mark Davidson and Andrew Miller are closing in, trying to work together to get to that 37 for the race lead.
Yeah, and you mentioned this earlier, Van. There are some drivers that the future is questionable for the future, like Christian Allen, Garrison Noah,
Matt Dalio.
Yeah, Matt Dalio, Alonso. Don't know how to say the name, I'm sorry. Nick Samadillo, I don't know for sure.
Sam Samadillo is probably going to return. Guys like Samadillo and Turner, they're in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, and my guess would be that they would also be returning for season number 9. Of course, we know Fitzwater is always going to be returning, but but you think about guys like Dalio and Sonor, you know, they just haven't been around that much lately. We just don't know where they're going to be. Tristan Allen the same way. For him, of course, Alonso's actually announced retirement again. He does not have any plans of returning to season number 9, so we'll have to see how that all plays out for him. But yeah, it's going to be interesting in season number 9. We probably will be left with only 3 drivers who have been in every single season, that being Turner, Bartow, and Fitzwater. But either way, You know, guys like Cody Sill and Andrew Miller, they've been around a couple of seasons. They want to be like Turner and Bartow, want to be those legendary drivers. And Sill trying to win his second race of the season after a dismal performance this season. Won that race at Chicagoland, but he's got to hold off Mark Davidson now, and Davidson's got a fast race car, and then number 95.
I will just say this. The day that Zachary Fitzwater retires from NR 2003 is the day that the NR community will cry.
That'll be a sad day, but it's, I think, very far off in the future.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, we got a battle for the race lead now, and how about this? I mean, look at the way the top 10 is split from the rest of the field. They have over 3 seconds on the 11th place driver. There is a huge difference between the top 10 and the rest of the field here. You can just see it on the racetrack right there. Very, very interesting. Cody still trying to hang on. Miller battling right there. And Stephen Thompson is definitely the spotlight right now. As an unshuttered driver, like I mentioned, we've yet to have an unshuttered driver win this season. We've yet to have a season like that since season 2. Will that 97 go to victory lane once again? It went to victory lane last year with Alex Bonsignor at Auto Club. Will Thompson get it in the finale race for Outer Island Motorsports? Get that team 2 wins in a row to finish the season off. We'll just have to see. I think everyone, probably even from Jacobson on up, has a shot at winning this race at this point. I mean, we're already on lap 41 of 67. The odds are is that this thing is not going to have a caution. You never know when you could end up with one, but it has a very green flag look to it. And we'll just have to see who ends up winning it here. Mark Davidson holding on to the race lead. Of course, earlier on in the season, Davidson was a driver who had a very good chance at winning the championship. He was dominant earlier on, and we were wondering if anyone was going to give to Mark Davidson. Well, then out of nowhere, Nathan Baird comes and takes the points lead away, and the rest is history. But Mark Davidson won the Coke 600 earlier this season. He'd love to get another race victory before the season ends. But Cody Sill, I think he's the guy who feels like he deserves it the most. He's led the most laps. He's back to the race lead on Mark Davidson here at Homestead.
And don't forget, we do have another cycle of pit stops coming up. Probably going to be with roughly 10 or 15 laps to go. So that could shake up the order. So that is going to be very interesting as Tristan Allen hits the wall once again.
Allen a little bit wide. Kukul on a lap down, surpassing him right there. Nathan Baird falling back as well in the number 40 machine. There's Jalarbin Alonso to the inside of him, going to make that move. All these guys right here on Cody Sill, and the race for the win, or the race for the lead, I should say, is much closer than it was when the cycle began for the pit stops. So these guys are really close to each other right now. Mark Davidson going to take it back from Cody Sill. Mitchell Henderson still up here in the 25. And then you have the number 97 moving his way through the field as well. Kukulon's a lap down here, but just think if he wasn't a lap down, he's moving his way through the field very well. He might have some fresh tires. And if he can get back to ahead of Mark Davidson and unlap himself and a caution come out, he'd be back in the lead lap here at Homestead. So we'll have to see if that happens for Kukulon. But from what we've seen in this race so far, I doubt we're going to get a caution here at the Homestead Miami-Speedway.
Yeah, and Sill and Miller, they pitted on the same lap, and I believe they're starting to fall off their tires. This is a either 2X or 3X race, so they've got 1 lap less fresher tires than everyone else, and I believe they're starting to fall off. So could see some cars ducking on the pit road sometime within the next 5 to 10 laps.
Of course, they came down lap 29. I actually would expect maybe even 15 laps from now before they come down initially for their second cycle of pit stops in this race. But you definitely can tell there's a bit of a fall off on some of these guys. I think Cody Sill's one of those guys, Andrew Miller. But they're still far from losing this race, and they're going to be fighting hard for the race win until the end. This is the last race of the season. All these guys want to get it. And while a lot of guys are out of contention to win it, everyone's going to be fighting hard to the finish regardless of where they're at. So we'll have to see who gets it done. Mark Davidson pulling away as they go side by side for second on lap 47 of 67. 20 laps to go in Season 8 of the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. Who's going to win the finale race, the Chick-Fil-A 500?
Of Mark Davidson, it's probably at this point his race to lose. He's got a sizable lead over everybody else as they battle behind him. But I'd say, honestly, anybody in this lead pack, because they are miles ahead of that second pack, say realistically anybody in this pack aside from Kukulon and Roberts, who are laps down, they've got the best shot at winning this race.
The rest of the field is 6.5 seconds behind. They're led by Andrew Ross right now. Jonathan Skimnicki also leading this pack, but you could possibly see a bit of strategy out of these guys on that next cycle. You gotta think, their last set of pit stops are gonna happen within 10 laps to go, so things could get kind of wild for the finish here. Just don't know what's gonna happen, but right now, Mark Davidson holding on to the race victory. We're gonna have to see if he is going to get this race victory. We got a side-by-side battle here between Andrew Miller and Mitchell Henderson. They are starting to creep up a little bit on Mark Davidson. Cody Sill, however, is slipping up. Patrick Smith moving his way through the field very well in the 66. North State Racing doing a great job right now. Same with Tanker Motorsports, so we'll have to see who gets it done here, as we now have 17 laps to go at Homestead.
Going to be very interesting to see who comes out with this thing. It would be very ironic if Mark Davidson won this race, because he is sponsored by Alaskan Airlines. We're on the other side of the country. So
the opposite corner of the country. You are right about that.
We're down in South Florida, and they're obviously based in Alaska and Seattle, so would be very interesting. Very far from home for that sponsor, but they're running up front and would like to see that car in victory lane. And he is pulling out to a sizable lead as they're 3 wide behind him for second place.
Of course, Mark Davidson's the only driver for Tanker Motorsports to get a win this season for that team. And, of course, that came in the Coke 600 earlier this season. I don't know, Andrew Miller would love to get a race victory here, and we're starting to see a little bit of creeping up through the racetrack. Nobody's coming down right now, but we see these guys kind of move up through turn number 4 when they anticipate drivers coming down the pit lane. So we'll have to see how it all shakes out here. But I'm going to ask you, Nathan, what do you want to do? Do you want to take 2 tires? Do you want to take no tires? We're only going to have a few laps left. Once they're done with their pit stops, what's the best strategy to win this race here at Homestead?
Oh boy, let's just say this is why I am not a crew chief. Because if I want to play it safe, but possibly lose the race win, then go with 4 tires. But if you want to have some strategy and possibly win, then no tires and just fuel, or just 2 tires. So it's all up in the air. It's all up to the crew chiefs, and it could very well be a last-second decision if they will go with 4 tires, 2 tires, or even no tires.
Well, if I'm Mark Davidson at this point, I'm gonna wait until these guys are a little bit far behind me, maybe another half a second or another full second, and then I'm gonna duck down to pit road, because Cody Sill, he did the exact same thing. He and Andrew Miller, and they short pitted before the entire field did, and then they were miles ahead of them. It took them roughly 10 laps to catch back up. So I'd say probably within 9 or 10 to go to come down ahead of these guys, and then they'll come down the next lap, and then you might just leapfrog them and hopefully steal this win away.
We'll have to see if any of those drivers take that opportunity. Patrick Smith has found his way to the 2nd position now. And he's going to have a good shot at this race win, I do believe. So this pack is really amped up. I mean, they are all over the place in this pack right now. And Mark Davidson has a well over 1 second lead. And I agree with that strategy, Trey. You want to come down early, get those fresh tires, and beat everyone else off. That's the strategy to win this thing, I do believe, at this point, because we saw Cody Sill lead a lot of laps there after he did just the same. And it's only going to be maybe about 7 laps to go when they start coming down here, because I don't think they're going to start quite yet. We might possibly see some takers this lap, the way they're running right now. Cody Sill is going to come down here. We'll have to see if this works out for Sill. Going to be 10 laps to go for Cody Sill when he comes down here. He's the only driver coming down at this point. Will he take 4 tires and get a bit of an advantage on the rest of the field here? That is the question. Either way, these guys starting to spread out, ready to come back down for the 2nd cycle. They got to be careful coming down the pit lane. Nathan Baird is going to come down in the number 40. Mark Davidson staying out. Alonso and Tristan Allen all coming down. Julius Anderson coming down back in there. Oh boy, this guy's coming pretty close to him.
Oh man.
4 wide mid-pack.
And this is some...
Again, if a caution comes out now, it's going to be very confusing to see what happens, what these guys do.
And I think the people who end up losing a lot of ground are the guys who've already come down the pit lane. That's the advantage you get by staying out. Davidson's going to come down. Patrick Smith as well.
Playing keys.
They got to be careful right there.
Man.
Jacobson almost got into Henderson. We got a bit of contact between Canto and Salazorda, but everyone keeps it together right there.
Oh
Master and Fisher G as well. Emily Anderson coming down. And there is Cody Sill, who is going to unlap himself right here. Nicholas Samadillo currently leading the field. And I think everyone from that first pack came down. So what do you do if these guys, if you're one of these guys here? Do you just go with fuel only? 2 tires maybe? Because all these guys are taking tires. You want to get that advantage on the rest of the field, don't you?
Tires are very important here as this race is set to either 2 or 3X. So
how about this? They jumped Cody Sill, Herja Larvin Alonso, and Nathan Baird. Alonso to the inside of Baird. They both got ahead of Cody Sill. Here come the rest of the drivers. Patrick Smith got out ahead of Mark Davidson. And Patrick Smith is in the position to possibly win this race. But all these guys are going to be really close to him. We'll have to see how it all shakes out here. These guys staying out. I don't think they've come down yet. John Art, Josh Marzak, they have yet to come down the pit lane, I do believe. Either that or they are just at the end of the field right there. I just don't know. There is Nicholas Samadillo. I didn't check to see if those guys went fuel only or not. We'll have to see if Samadillo has anything here on Patrick Smith. I don't know. He might have a shot at this one. He's got to get back in the gas fast enough, but he might be able to get the drive. Oh, a contact right there with Cody Sill. He did not merge well at all. Patrick Smith leading the field here, and I believe it is fully cycled through the final few laps in Season 8 of the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. Patrick Smith going for his 3rd win of the season. Mark Davidson going for his 2nd. Herja Larvin Alonso looking to retire off into the sunset with a race win in his final Chick-Fil-A Cup Series race. And they all have a chance at doing so. Lucas Jacobson, rookie driver. Nathan Baird, your champion. Who is going to win the final race of the season here in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series?
Here's the thing with Patrick Smith. You at Homestead, he won
the bumper to him.
Oh, the bumper. Patrick Smith won the first ever Red Bull Cup Series championship on my channel here at Homestead, and Mark Davidson won the first ever series I ever did. The Pro Series, so both of them are trying to get another win and another special moment. But Alonso wants to ruin that pole and win.
We may have lap traffic in the time.
Alonso's got a fast car. He's going to try on Patrick Smith right here. And this is such a huge moment for Herja Larvin Alonso. Of course, he will actually have one more race left at Las Vegas for the Hers Elimination Series next week. But after that, it's going to be it for Alonso. I believe he's going to be retiring at the end of the season. He got stuck on the outside right there of Lucas Jacobson. It's going to be 3 laps to go, and it might just be between Patrick Smith and Mark Davidson for this race victory here at Homestead.
Even Thompson in the wall back there, and Justin Roberts may play a factor into this. We were worried about lap traffic in the last night, but that didn't really play a factor. But could play a factor in this race. They're rapidly catching up on that 38. Lucas Jacobson and Nathan Baird, they've come into the fray. And here comes Davidson trying to get the lead back.
They're still side by side. They keep on switching right here for that position. 2 laps to go in the Chick-Fil-A 500. Like I mentioned, possibly the last race for Herja Larvin Alonso. This could possibly be the last race for Garrison Orr just on the outside of the top 10. Possibly the last race for Tristan Allen as well in the number 3. And Matt Delio in the 79. They've all been part of the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series for such a long time. And this could be it for him here today. Back to the race lead. White flag in the air. Mark Davidson and Lucas Jacobson. The final lap in Season 8 of the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series.
Lucas Jacobson. Where did he come from?
Lucas Jacobson has been creeping his way through this top 10. He's been in the top 10 the majority of this race. And I don't know if he's going to have the shot right there on Davidson. He's going to have a shot right here on the inside.
Here it comes.
Rookie Lucas Jacobson, rookie Mark Davidson. Who's going to win the Chick-Fil-A 500? Lucas Jacobson for Wade Enterprises will win the final race of Season 8 in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. Lucas Jacobson has won the Chick-Fil-A 500.
Wow.
Where did he come from? The mid-pack all race had a great pit stop. That 64 team, they've got their first win. Congratulations to rookie Lucas Jacobson.
Wow,
For
where did
Nathan
he come
Baird.
from?
Officially wins.
And we can officially say it now. We had the whole celebration at Darlington, but Nathan Baird is the Season 8 Chick-fil-A Cup Series champion. He officially clinches it here at Homestead, but there's your race winner, Lucas Jacobson, on the inside, getting it done here at the Homestead Miami-Speedway. How about that for driver number 64? He led one lap in this race, and it was the final lap of the event. Didn't really expect that to happen, but how about the number 64, Wade Enterprises, with the last win in Season 8 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series.
Once again, a side-by-side photo finish here at the Homestead Miami-Speedway. Hole-in-one for the 64. That was a great race and a great finish. Congratulations to that rookie driver.
And what a finish. I don't even know where he came from. He got a good pit stop, and while we were looking through the field for some of those drivers like Snort and Alonso and Allen and
Dalio. You keep on forgetting Dalio, man. I don't know what the deal is.
and Dalio. Then Jacobson came out on freaking nowhere and passed on the inside. He faked it in 3 and 4, thought he wasn't going to get there, but he did it all to spoil us and to trick us and gets the win in the final race of season number 8 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Congratulations, Lucas Jacobson. You are a Chick-fil-A Cup Series winner.
He in fact is, and I believe that we can confirm Titan Fury Motorsports as the Owners' Championship for season number 8. The highest finisher for Zidell Motorsports was Nicholas Samadio in 11th, and he will clearly not have enough points to surpass Titan Fury in the championship. Of course, Titan Fury finished right behind him, so there's no way that Zidell got it. So congratulations to Edgar Brito and Titan Fury Motorsports once again, the owners' champions for season number 8 of the Chick-fil-A Cup. So you take a look at the rest of the results right there. We had a caution-free race for the first time ever in the finale. 3 guys finished a lap down, McMillan, Spurley, and Kukulon. Justin Roberts actually unlapped himself in that race. A good job there out of the American Motorsports driver in the last race of the season. But like I mentioned, we know for sure that Alonso isn't returning next season, and we just don't know about Garrett Sonor and Matt Dalio. And for Sonor and Dalio, they are 2 of 5 drivers who have raced in every season of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Matt Dalio, season 4 champions, won this race before, almost won 2 championships. Garrett Sonor, for the longest time, was the all-time winningest driver on Napa Fan. They have both meant so much to the channel. So I don't know if it's going to be the end for those guys or not, but a huge thank you to Garrett Sonor and Matt Dalio for being part of Napa Fan for so long. They are some of those legendary names on the channel, and I can't thank them enough for just being huge supporters of the channel. Tristan Allen as well. I feel like he's kind of gotten overlooked a lot because of this, but even Tristan Allen's probably not going to return for the next season. He even though he never got a win here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, it meant quite a bit to have him running so long. He won a lot of races elsewhere. I believe he's a 16-time winner on Napa Fan, and we'll definitely miss all those guys who were such huge parts of Napa Fan throughout the past few years. And hey, the door is always open for those guys to return. They can return the Season 8 on a reserve or Season 9, I should say, on a reserve if they wish to. So who knows? They may return. It's very possible. We do know Alonso has announced his retirement officially. A very respectable 4th place finish to close out his career here. He had a shot at the win, just couldn't get it at the end there. And of course, Nathan Baird, your Chick-fil-A Cup Series champion for season number 8, getting it done here. And he's going to be returning next season, looking to defend his championship as a sophomore driver. First ever rookie champion, Nathan Baird, in the number 40. So final thoughts on the season, guys. Not just on your perspective, but on the whole entire series as a whole for all the drivers. What did you think this season was like for everybody here in Season 8 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series?
I personally thought this was probably one of the most exciting seasons we've seen in a long time. Definitely a lot of memorable moments from Marzak winning the 500 to big incidences. We had a lot of good racing action, plenty of carry from a lot of people across the board. So, and not to mention, we had a rookie driver winning the championship for the first time. That's 2 straight seasons, which have been history making. So, definitely a very memorable season 8, and I definitely can't wait for season 9.
Yeah, me too. That was an amazing race and an amazing finish. Sure, I didn't have the best of seasons. Both years I've not had good seasons, but it was a really good season. Lots of different winners, lots of crazy finishes, and but this is a historic race and a historic season. First ever rookie champion to Nathan Baird, but just have to say this. I don't know what my plans are next year, but there's a good chance I will be in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series and Nathan Baird. One Nathan to another Nathan. I'm coming after that championship.
Well, we'll have to see what happens next year. There will be a Season 9 here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and next week we plan to have the roll call video out for all of the team owners and asking them if they would like to return. That's all you got to do. Just be a team owner, and you get the option to return your team for the next season. So we'll get all that started next week and get prepared for season number 9 beginning February. I don't know the specific date when the Smooth Fest is going to be, but it's going to be soon. And we're looking forward to see how it all plays out in Season 9 coming up. And of course, last night we had the opening event in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. That is now the top series here on Napa Fan. That's going to run throughout the fall. Next week we're going to be at Las Vegas for those guys. And we still have another finale to go in the Hers Elimination Series over on the NOFSRL channel. I don't know who's in championship contention over there, but the final 4 yesterday, or should I say Thursday, was Andrew Miller, Justin Zaidel, Monty Salato, and Ace Garcia. So one of those 4 guys going to win the championship next week from Las Vegas in the Hers Elimination Series over on the NOFSRL channel. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching this entire season here. There were some rough patches throughout the season. There were times I just didn't want to do it, and thankfully, when it got to the end, it got pretty fun. These races got really good, and I'm really glad you guys stuck around and enjoyed it. Even though Nathan Baird clinched the championship, you guys still enjoyed it, and Nathan Baird is more than deserving of this championship. He clinched it 2 weeks ago, and we congratulate him once again on winning the Season 8 Chick-fil-A Cup Series Championship. So thank you guys so much for watching this entire season. We'll be back next year for Season number 9. Hope to see a lot of you guys and a lot of familiar faces in the 9th season of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series 2020. But until then, hope you guys enjoy the Turkey Hill Truck Series, and hope you guys keep it chill and keep it cool here as we keep on rolling on here throughout the fall on Napa Fan. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to Trey and Nathan and all the co-commentators we have this year. Alex Bonsignor, Marty Johnson, Carter Friesen. I don't think he was part of any of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series broadcasts. Luke Rainey was part of some. Then we had Andrew Miller in for some things. Oh boy, I can't name everybody, but we had quite a few guys. We had Justin Zaidel for a couple of races. We had somebody else this season too, and I can't remember who it was. We had Jesse Turner in for a couple of races in the IndyCar Series. We just thank all of those guys for being part of this. And if I forgot you, I'm very sorry. I did not mean to do so, but we thank each and every one of you for joining us and making the Chick-fil-A Cup Series and all the series here on Napa Fan what they are. So thank you guys once again. I can't thank you guys enough, and that's why I say it, I don't know, 4 or 5 times a video. But either way, here are the final point standings for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series Season number 8. Nathan Baird, your champion in Season number 8 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and Lucas Jacobson, the final winner in 2019 for Season number 8. We'll see you guys in February for the Maliello Smooth Fest from Daytona. We're going to start it all back up again. And I don't know, about 5 months from now, and we're going to have a lot of fun when that comes back around. But until then, we'll see you guys later. Hope you have a great fall. I will see you guys later.